millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly.
Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're immersed in the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. On 1st and 10, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Go! Switch!
Now Prescott. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Kill!
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. Pretty move. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On 1st down, Wentz.
But from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
The quick slant caught. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The numbers for Jeffrey from last week. After the game, he was the focus. He was in the end zone at every turn. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing. Prescott over the middle. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking middle, and that's complete. $14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. This is Elliott. And an alley to run. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here this 1st quarter. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams, and that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. Alshon Jeffrey. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Doug Peterson says, let's go for 2 here. Wentz now to throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion. This one's caught. And it stretches their lead up to 8. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Elliott takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. A good pickup there, 21 yards. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. And he's got this down to the 35. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a 1st down. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Prescott, a quick throw caught by Cooper. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. To throw is Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Going the other way.
Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day.
And it appears that he loved the fact that they're going to play this game earlier. You know, daytime, he's out there running. Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. Doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress as well. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Mike, go. Kill. 280. Man 5-7.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Russell Wilson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. Jared Goff with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital, see what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. Austin Eckler, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
There he goes left side. And he is finally going to be stopped down around the 5-yard line. What a return.
All praises for a tremendous return, but how about the guys that never gave up on the play, refused to let him get into the end zone, and tracked him down before he got there and made the tackle? A lot of pride exhibited by guys on special teams.
Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. Second down and goal. Wentz, but it'll be second and goal. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the win.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jordan Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Check three.
A first down carry by Elliott. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go to Elliott again. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Flush. Oh, Prescott stripped. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Prescott from the gun on third. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And all the way down to the 35. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 44 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Ross on the return. Able to fight through 1 tackle. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now Wentz gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Wentz going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah. Alshon Jeffrey. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
The tackle made by Landon Roberts. On 2nd and 7, Wentz to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incomplete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. An 11-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, you know, call whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
Your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder.
We know this thing's done.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Milano, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Prescott to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder what plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. Throw left side, complete. That's Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Prescott, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Milano picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
It's caught. Cooper. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a 1st. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here we go, here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And they will take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Philadelphia, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish now. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. The young, credible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, credible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from